Look, Apple and the word budget usually go together like toothpaste and orange juice. You just do not mix them. But over the last few weeks, a massive trail of digital breadcrumbs has been quietly piling up in the background. And it is all pointing toward a huge plot twist for Apple's upcoming March 4th event. We're talking about a brand new laptop. Not a MacBook Air, definitely not a MacBook Pro. Just a regular MacBook. And the absolute craziest part of all of this, the price tag is rumored to be sitting right around that sweet $599 mark. Now I know exactly what you were thinking. $599 for a brand new Apple laptop. Sounds like complete science fiction. But hear me out, because the evidence backing this up is actually overwhelming right now. First off, let's look at the retail space. For the last year or so, Walmart has been absolutely carrying the budget Mac community on its back, selling the classic M1 MacBook Air for dirt cheap. We literally saw prices drop to an insane $549 during the recent holiday sales. It was the ultimate cheat code for students and honestly, anyone on a tight budget. But suddenly, out of nowhere, poof, that legendary Walmart M1 Air is completely out of stock. Vanished. Gone. And if you know anything about how Apple operates, they do not just let an entry-level moneymaker disappear from shelves unless they have a shiny new replacement already sitting in a warehouse, waiting to be unleashed. And that brings us to the actual smoking gun, hidden deep inside Apple's own software. Tech sleuths, specifically Felipe Esposito over at MacWatts, have been digging through the developer code of Mac OS 26.3, and they struck absolute gold. They found very specific, unreleased hardware identifiers hard-coded into the system. We are talking about J427 and J527, which are highly likely to be two brand new external displays. One standard model and one high-end variant. But the real star of the show, the absolute crown jewel of this entire leak, is the code name J700. According to the supply chain rumor mill, J700 is the long-awaited, much-anticipated ultra-budget MacBook. And the fact that this specific code name is actively showing up in recent macOS updates means this machine is not just a prototype sitting in a locked room in Apple Park. It is real, it is being actively tested as we speak, and it is very much on the cusp of a public launch. But wait, it gets so much more interesting when we talk about what is actually powering this thing. If you were sitting there expecting a brand new M4 chip inside a $600 laptop, you might want to lower those expectations just a tiny bit. Instead, Apple is reportedly doing something totally wild. They are putting an iPhone chip inside this MacBook, specifically the A18 Pro chipset. Yes, the exact same silicon brain that currently powers the iPhone 16 Pro. At first glance, shoving a smartphone chip into a laptop sounds like a terrible idea, right? It sounds like a total recipe for a sluggish, lagging mess. But let's take a step back and look at the actual math here. Apple's silicon is a totally different beast compared to everything else. The multi-core performance of the A18 Pro is actually right on par with the original M1 chip. Think about that for a second. The M1 MacBook Air completely changed the entire laptop industry when it launched. It was fast, it was silent, and the battery literally lasted all day. I still know plenty of people using their M1 Airs every single day for heavy tasks like video editing. So if Apple can take that exact same level of M1 desktop performance, bake it into an incredibly cheap A18 Pro chip, and wrap a sleek laptop around it, they have essentially created the ultimate everyday machine. Because the A18 Pro is specifically designed to run on a tiny, super compact phone battery, putting it inside a laptop chassis with a massive battery means this new MacBook could easily have the most insane battery life we have ever seen in a portable computer. You could probably leave your charger at home for an entire weekend trip and be totally fine. Now, let us talk about the design, because this honestly might be my favorite part of the entire leak. For the last decade, Apple has been taking themselves incredibly seriously with their laptop colors. We have had space gray, silver, slightly darker space gray, midnight, and starlight. It is basically 50 shades of boring corporate colors. But the strongest word on the street is that this new budget MacBook is going to be incredibly colorful. We are talking bright, playful, unapologetic finishes. Think vibrant yellow, punchy green, deep blue, and soft pink. If this actually happens, it will be the most fun Apple has had with laptop colors since the legendary iBook G3 days in the late 90s. You know the ones? The laptops that looked like giant, glowing pieces of fruit candy. Tangerine, blueberry, key lime. It was an absolute vibe. Apparently, Apple actually tested these bright colors for the M2 MacBook Air redesign back in 2022, but they chickened out at the last second and played it safe. This budget MacBook is their ultimate chance to finally loosen up and bring some real personality back to the Mac lineup. Size-wise, the rumors are pointing to a display somewhere between 12 inches and just under 13 inches. It is meant to be the ultimate, ultra-portable, backpack-friendly companion. You just toss in your bag and completely forget it is even there. It reminds me a lot of the old 12-inch MacBook they sold from 2015 to 2019. That little guy was beautiful, incredibly thin, and ridiculously light. But it had a massive, fatal flaw. It was powered by those notoriously hot and slow Intel chips. It would thermal throttle and slow down if you just opened too many Chrome tabs. But now, in 2026, with the super efficient, perfectly cool A18 Pro chip, Apple can finally execute that ultra-portable vision flawlessly. But look, as your tech friend, I have to be completely real with you. Apple is a business. They are not going to release a $600 laptop that completely destroys their $1,000 MacBook Air sales. There will absolutely be compromises. So what exactly is the catch? First off, the memory. While the new Pro and Air models are finally starting at 16 gigabytes of RAM, this budget model is expected to start at 8 gigs with a potential 12 gigabyte upgrade option. I know. 8 gigs of RAM in 2026 sounds like a literal crime against humanity to us tech nerds. But let us remember exactly who this laptop is actually for. It is for students writing essays in the library. It is for families browsing the web on the couch. It is for watching YouTube and streaming movies. For all of that everyday stuff, 8 gigs is perfectly fine. If you're trying to render a massive 4K documentary or run heavy 3D software, this is simply not the laptop for you, and that is okay. The second major compromise comes down to the ports, because it is using an A-series mobile chip instead of an M-series desktop chip. It physically lacks the built-in architecture for Thunderbolt speeds. That means the Type-C ports on this machine will have standard data. Transfer speeds. You'll not be hooking up crazy dual-monitor studio setups or transferring terabytes of hard drive data in seconds. Again, for a college student saving essays to a flash drive, they will never, ever notice the difference in speed. Lastly, the manufacturing process itself is getting a downgrade. Leaks suggest Apple has developed a brand new, significantly faster, and much cheaper way to produce the aluminum chassis. It will still feel premium. It will still have that classic Apple unibody magic, but cost them way less to make, which is the secret sauce allowing them to hit that aggressive $599 to $799 price point. And make no mistake, that price point is an absolute weapon. Apple is going straight for the throat of the Chromebook market. For years, schools and businesses have bought cheap plastic Windows laptops and Chromebooks simply because Macs were just too expensive to justify. By dropping a sleek, incredibly colorful, wildly fast MacBook into the sub-$800 category, Apple is completely flipping the script. They are offering a highly accessible entry point into the Apple ecosystem for a massive group of people who previously felt totally priced out. So, when are we actually going to see this thing? Well, Apple has officially invited the media and creators to the Apple Experience event on March 4th. It is happening simultaneously in New York, London, and Shanghai. The specific wording of the invite strongly hints at a physical, hands-on experience. The running theory in the tech world right now is that Apple will drop random press releases for these new products just days before, and then let the media loose to test them out on March 4th. If you have been holding off on buying a laptop because the MacBook Air is just a little too pricey for your budget right now, do not buy anything today. Seriously, hold the line. We are just days away from potentially seeing the most disruptive budget laptop Apple has ever made. If you found this breakdown helpful, do me a massive favor. Hit that subscribe button and tap the like button. It tells the algorithm that you enjoy this kind of no-nonsense, honest tech talk, and it really helps the channel grow, so I can keep digging up these awesome leaks for you. Drop a comment down below. What color would you pick if you were buying this $599 MacBook? I will be keeping a very close eye on all the latest updates as we get closer to the March 4th event. So stay tuned. Catch you in the next one.